Print. 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 Come on, print, 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 print. Print, print, print. Oh, come on. Why did you have to jam? Print, 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 print. Where are we? That's what playing from paper feels like. I've played from binders for years, and while they don't need Wi-Fi or crash mid-service, they come with a whole different set of problems. In this video, I want to show you how switching to digital chord sheets has helped my praise team worship better, and how they can help your team too. So let's get right into it. Before I show you the digital chord sheets, I want to elaborate on the problems with paper, because there are many, but I'll spare you and only give you 3 problems. Starting with the most offensive. Problem number 1. The first problem with paper chord sheets is losing your place. And if you have confusing charts and get them from different places, it could be really frustrating trying to find your place. If there's inconsistencies and quality differences in your chord sheets, some can just be outright confusing. If it doesn't have a roadmap spelled out clearly, it becomes very difficult to follow. Some are laid out better than others, but still, it doesn't set you up for success if it's just confusing. So if the arrangement is unclear, you don't know where you're going back to, it can be tough to follow, especially right in the middle of a service. So let's say you're performing a song. What you're supposed to be doing, and I'll assume you're doing, is you're looking out at the congregation, right? You're playing, you're looking out, and then you want to just refer back to your music. I do this too, to just get my bearings and find my place, see where I'm at, where I'm going. So, okay, yeah, I go down, I look at my music, and if you're like using paper music, you have to find your place again. You have to search, okay, am I on the chorus? Am I on the verse? I mean, you know that. But then mentally you're thinking, well, where is that on the page? And that becomes mentally taxing. So let's say you find your place. You finally find where you're at, maybe the chorus. But guess what? Maybe by the time you've actually found your place, you're moving on to another verse. So now your eyes are scrambling about and looking for what verse you're going to. And you know how that could be laid out. You could have verse 1, chorus, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, verse 5. You can just be looking around and like, okay, where am I going now? And it's just a conundrum and a mental burden and tax on you. So that's the most offensive thing, is just losing your place. And more so actually the taxing energy it takes to find it again and again and again every time you refer back to your music. And that's just distracting. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is the inflexibility of paper. How it really makes making changes really frustrating. So let's say you decide to change keys, or perhaps repeat, or even skip a section, or alter a lyric, or even capo. Capos get you there. If you're a guitarist and you want your chord sheet capoed, that'll get you. So that means you have to go in and change it and reprint the whole chord sheet for your whole team. I mean, that's just frustrating. Let's say you're in practice and then you find out, hey, this isn't arranged the way I might have wanted or thought it would work out. And then what you have to do is either A, tell your whole team, hey guys, let's just scratch this out, use your writing implement of choice, scratch this out, write this here, and then put that on your sheet and make everyone do that. Or you go back to your chord sheet, however you edit your chord sheet, and make that change or annotate it, and then, well, reprint it. And that's a burden too. Just reprinting your chord sheet and having to distribute it to your whole team, that's taxing too. You see, paper assumes worship is static, but you know it's not. I know it's not. So paper seems to be punishing your creativity and your ability to experiment. So that's problem number 2. Paper's so inflexible. If you want to make a change, well, you've got to change it somewhere. Either you're reprinting or just doing so much work. And this brings me to problem number 3. Maybe you're either chopping down trees every week or you're juggling binders. So there's a bit of a story with my team and how we used to do this and how we progressed along. But maybe you're just printing out sheets every week, right? So each week comes along, you're printing out your chord sheets, and they're fresh copies every week. Do the math. If, let's say, you have 6 songs, let's assume 3 are single page, 3 take 2 pages, so that's 9 sheets of paper total. Let's say you have, 6 team members maybe. That's kind of average. 6 times 9 is 54. 54 sheets of paper every single week. Multiply that by 52 and that's how much paper you're using each year. That's an ungodly amount of paper. And I think you could put that paper to better use, honestly, especially if you're printing out the same song week to week. And kind of tying in with our last point and last problem is, if you make a change, if you're scribbling in a change on your sheet of paper, let's say that song comes up again. Well, you have to rethink about that change. If you didn't save it somewhere or update your chart, you've got to make that change again every single time if you don't save your chord sheets. So that's kind of what we ran into at our church for a while. Is in years past we used paper, we printed out the set every single week, and it just drove me nuts seeing that we'd literally print out the same song maybe a couple weeks in a row, or just at least with some periodicity, some regularity. So eventually what we did is we did the binder approach. So with the binder approach, you're printing out the copies, right? But you're saving them. That's the key difference. You're saving the copies of music you print every week and you file it away. You can just simply put it in file folders alphabetically by title. So when you go and have your set list for that week, you pull out that folder, open up, you find the songs you're doing, pull out the chord sheets, you put them in sheet protectors in the binders and queue up the music that way. That's a much cleaner approach and conserves on paper. And if you make any scribbled changes, those are saved too. It just becomes a burden to have to sort through the file, maintain the file, and just handle that paper physically week to week. It kind of gets old. It works, but as I said, just with all these issues, and I could name more, it's just a tax on efficiency, and it doesn't help you perform your best. So these are the problems with paper. Losing your place, making changes are hard, and you're either chopping down trees or juggling binders week to week. What's the solution to these problems? Well, the first thing is, with digital chord sheets, Uplift makes it so easy. You'll never lose your place. Here, let me show you what I mean. So here we got our library. I'm gonna go to the performance here, and we're gonna actually open the service we planned out in the previous video. And what I'm gonna do is show you a song. So let's do Are You Washed in the Blood? And this will be a good example. It's kind of fast paced. But I'm just gonna sing through maybe a verse, a chorus, and a little bit of the second verse and show you what I mean. You can also customize this music. So actually what I'm using right now is I like the green highlight color and the purple chord color. It makes it look nice. If you're manually controlling the music, which you can just click and it'll advance sections. So this makes it pretty nice. So if you're on your tablet, you could just tap the screen and have it advance. Or if you have a compatible foot pedal that basically works like a keyboard with arrow keys or page up, page down, you can use that too, and that'll make it a lot easier. But what I'm gonna use is live scroll. If you looked at our previous video, we timed every chord, every line beginning, all that stuff. And if you have everything timed, that means this music can scroll and highlight in real time. And what that means is you'll never lose your place. So let me show you how that works. So what I'm gonna do is press and hold the live scroll button, and then it will count us in and we'll begin. Have you been to Jesus for the cleansing power? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully trusting in His grace this hour? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood, in the soul cleansing blood of the Lamb? Are your garments spotless? Are they white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you walking daily by the Savior's side? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Do you rest each moment in the crucified? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? And then I'll just press and hold to stop the click. So see, it's really just that easy to scroll through the music. It highlights, it scrolls in real time as you've timed it out. So you don't even have to think about it. I don't know where I'd be without it. I'd be lost, quite literally. We've become very dependent on the click, very dependent on the highlighting. So literally, I can be free to look up. I can look out at the congregation, engage, and then when I want to refer to my music, I just have to look down and boom. I can see where it's highlighted clearly, I can see where I am, get my bearings, and I just don't have to think about it, which is the point. That's the point. So yeah, you can actually connect with your team if you have the paid version of Uplift, and when you start and stop a song, it synchronizes in real time. Their tablets will start at the same time yours does, it stops at the same time, and you stay all on track. Now, the second benefit of using Uplift and these digital chord sheets is the problem of having to make a change. With paper, it was so hard, but with this, it's so easy. So let's say we just want to throw in an extra chorus. See, we got 2 choruses at the end. So let's say I want to just throw in an extra chorus. So we can go to the song, scroll down, type in chorus, tab, and we have 3 choruses. Go back to the perform, and if you look down at the bottom, there's our 1, 2, 3 choruses. Literally easy. You can just update it, and it updates for everybody. And when you update a change on your tablet, it will go to everybody else's, and their music will be updated instantly. So making a change is not that hard. Although I wouldn't recommend making last-minute changes or too many at practice. You have that option. You can change things, make it super easy. And finally, that brings me to my last point, which is instead of having to print out tons of copies every week and kill trees, or have to manage a binder, multiple binders, and a whole file of songs, the digital library is just so easy. All the songs are in your library, and you can sort it, you can search it. Entering chord sheets is so easy. So I won't explain all of that now. You can go back to a previous video that we made about how you can enter a worship set in minutes, not hours, and it'll show you just how easy it is to maintain and create your library of songs. So that's how digital chord sheets make the problems we just talked about disappear. No more losing your place, no more stress about last-minute changes, and no more printing chaos. Worship just flows. If this looks like something that could help you or your team worship unhindered, I'd love for you to try it. You can start today for free and try what digital chord sheets are like. And when you're ready, you can upgrade and use Uplift with your whole team. The link is in the description below. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow worship leaders and team. Until next time, keep worshiping unified and unhindered.